What's up, Facebook? Happy Friday afternoon. Rock Recovery Fitness coming at you live. Wait a few moments for some of you guys to join in here. So I'll fill this time awkwardly with continuing to talk to myself as I usually do. It was funny, I was just in a work meeting a little bit ago and we were all kind of asking each other, did it feel like to anybody else that Friday just crept up on you? And yeah, it actually did. And then I said it felt like April crept up on me. I don't know if anyone else is feeling that way, and all of a sudden in another week or so here it'll be May. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, just realizing how quickly time is going, and I don't know, maybe I notice it more so, now from being home all the time and working from home, constantly having my phone or my laptop on, and so I'm like constantly have a clock that's in my face, I'm watching the hours just slip away throughout the day. I don't know. It just seems like there's this awareness that everything feels like it's moving much faster. But I don't know. Maybe some of you have the opposite reactions of that. Anyways, I see a couple of you on here. So I hope everyone's doing okay. I hope everyone made it through their week. Would love to hear some check-ins from you guys as usual. Tell me how your day's been so far. Tell me how you made it through the week. What were some of the bright spots of your week? It is important to talk about our challenges and our struggles. But I think it's really important right now that we focus on the positivity, and were you able to find those little silver linings in your week? Were you able to find the bright spots? So yeah, would love to hear some check-ins from you guys. Some people are kind of popping on here, it looks like. I was able to get outside for a little bit today and just, take a walk, and I don't know. I think spring is one of my favorite times of the year. It's just nice when, you kind of start to see the buds on the trees start to bloom and the flowers are starting to bloom a little bit, and you hear all the birds and you kind of see them hopping around. And I've just noticed so many birds lately, like even just from, sitting here in the city and hearing the birds outside, and then, getting outside to more rural areas just to walk a little bit and just hear all the birds. I think it's, I don't know. It's just relaxing. It's just become one of my favorite sounds, and, kind of the renewal of spring and everything, coming back from the dead, so to speak, and blooming again. And, it's just kind of like that metaphorical reminder that, you know what I mean? Like we're kind of headed into new territory, and that, we can come out of this thing, and, like we will resurface again, just like all the plants through the winter, there's that. Spring is about the the renewal of it all, and I don't know, just definitely one of my favorite seasons. Obviously wish it was a little warmer, but the earth is on its own agenda right now, which is kind of odd. So I see a few more of you joining in on here. So again, for those of you just coming in, I would love to hear some check-ins. Please comment. I always encourage you guys to comment. It's my favorite part. It helps keep the conversation going, so that I'm not just sitting here talking to myself. So it's always really helpful to hear some of your guys' comments. And as well, too, for those of you who are kind of newer to these videos, quite a few of us at Rock Recovery have been doing these videos for quite a few weeks now. And it's just so cool to watch how much they've grown, watch all the people that continuously join on, watch all you guys that continuously join on these videos. So we now have a Rock Recovery Fitness YouTube channel, so that's pretty cool. So thank you to our amazing staff for taking the time and the effort to really put that in. I mean, it's a big job, it really is. So if any of you are new to these videos and you missed the first half or you miss them completely, don't fret, they all save, and so you can always go back on our Facebook page and go back through the videos and watch them that way, or you can go to our new YouTube channel. I'm pretty excited about that. So the link I actually posted up in the here description. Sorry, it's backwards on my screen. So the link is posted up there, just as well as just continuing to remind people every day that we're still here, we're still doing these videos, we're still here, wanting to really connect with you guys, just to give you something to be a part of and a positive experience. And so we do have our virtual class schedule, so you can look at our flyer, which is right on our homepage, on our Facebook, Rock Recovery Facebook. It's pinned at the top of the page. You'll see the virtual class schedule. You'll also see our awesome new flyer for our peer mentor services, which we are still offering. So if any of you are looking to get involved with the peer mentor services, or you maybe have family or friends who are struggling right now and just really need to get connected to the recovery community in whatever way that looks like. We have people that will be here for you and support you and talk to you and walk through that journey with you. So our phone number is posted up in the description as well. I keep doing that the wrong way. It's so confusing. So over here, anyhow, 585-622-4975. You guys can Facebook message us. You guys can email us. So all that information is posted in there. So we are still here for you guys. Hi, Karen. Karen says, "Hey, how's it going?" It's going. We're still here every day. So glad to see you, Karen, and Lisa's on here. Nice to see a couple familiar faces. So yeah, I kind of went through, we've kind of been jumping around doing some different readings with you guys. I've kind of been all over the place just doing some different talks and giving you guys some words of encouragement, some little takeaways, some little challenges to do for yourselves at home. So I appreciate those of you who've been keeping up and participating and really taking this seriously and wanting to be a part of something and wanting to stay active. Lisa is saying, "Confession, I ordered fancy earrings on Amazon so I can look professional for meetings while never getting out of my PJs. I'm curious what ways, #staying safe at home, has made people do something whimsical. Or I guess I'm asking, what's one true sentence you can write right now that would have sounded hilarious and unearthly 3 months ago?" That is awesome. That is a good question to pose to you guys. So Lisa says she's ordered earrings so that she can look professional while still wearing PJs at home during work meetings. Yeah, so here we are, 5 weeks into this thing. We're all getting crafty and whimsical and goofy and crazy, and I love it. I love the enthusiasm. I truly love all the funny videos we're seeing out there and people's lighthearted spirit about all of this. And as we talked about a few days ago, it's so important to remain that, just trying our best. And we can't always do it, and that's okay. But it's important to try to have that, lightheartedness and that silliness about things, especially as we get, we're all starting to act sillier and sillier, and our goofy sides are coming out as we're been quarantined here for weeks now. And it is kind of amusing at times. So there's that question posed out to you guys. So what is one true sentence you can write right now that would have sounded hilarious and unearthly 3 months ago? So I'm going to have to think about that for a minute. All the nonsense things I do. So awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Danny's on here. Hey, Danny. So I was kind of, again, the readings have kind of been very random this week, and we've kind of just been doing some different topics. We did a 3-2-1 write your own newsletter yesterday. And that was all about 3 ideas, 2 quotes from somebody else, and 1 question. So that was a kind of at-home assignment I posed to you guys, and we did one yesterday. So today I had actually been thinking I wanted to share another little one of my daily readings. I don't share these too often, but every now and then there's one that speaks to me. And there was one on the 19th that really spoke to me, actually, and it's kind of been in my mind, for a couple of days. So I kind of went back through and pulled that one out. So I do have a little daily reader. This is called Each Day a New Beginning. And this is a daily meditations for women, but honestly, all the anyone and they can apply to everyone and anyone. And so it's really more about the take-home message from that. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. So this was actually from April 19th. "In the process of defining myself, I have a tendency to set up rules and boundaries, and then forget that rules are made to be broken, as are boundaries to be expanded and crossed." And that's from Kathleen Casey Thiessen. "Recovery has given us the freedom to address life honestly, with forethought and a certainty about the rightness of our actions. We need to be mindful that what is right today may not be right tomorrow or thereafter. As we move through our experiences, we are changed, and then we look with a new perspective on old conditions. Our new perspective hones our value systems, and yesterday's rules and boundaries no longer fit today's situations. Our growth as humans is an unending process. What we confront today with assurance, we prepared for yesterday, and tomorrow will be eased by our definition of today. The program has gifted us with clarity about ourselves, clarity regarding others, and clarity on how to continue our growth. My value system awaits finer definition, and every experience today presents me with an opportunity for that definition." So she's obviously referring to a 12-step program, which is, again, this book is based around, but, that's not me preaching the program, it was just a reading that I thought was just really profound. And different things work for different people, and that's totally okay. We're always in support of multiple pathways on here too, but the real meaning underneath that today was really just thinking about the life that we're all in right now. We keep talking about this constantly, this idea that we're all adapting, right? We're all learning to do life differently right now, and that looks very different for each and every single one of us. And I love this. We need to be mindful that what is right today may not be right tomorrow or thereafter. And that is so true. And I think that's important to remember, like, when we're adapting, right? And as I mentioned yesterday and a couple times in the past few weeks, how I handled life last week, 4 weeks ago, yesterday, today, tomorrow, a week from now, like, it's all going to be different. I'm going to handle those days differently, right? Because I'm in a different mood and I'm in a different mindset each and every single day, and sometimes multiple times throughout my days. I keep picturing that color-coded wheel that has all the different emotions listed on there. I probably hit a good majority of those things throughout almost every single day. And that's okay. Life is just what it is right now, and it is challenging and it is overwhelming, sure. But I'm learning every single day that, how I handled things yesterday might not work for me today, because I've never had this day before. This day is brand new for me. This day is brand new for each and every single one of us. I've never gotten to this point in my life yet, right here, right now. Each second that's passing by, this is all a brand new moment, So always going into those new moments each and every day, like, it's going to be a different experience, and it's going to be a different way of dealing with things. I have these, she talks about, we set up these rules and boundaries for ourselves. I have, like, the rules and boundaries that I follow in my life. I have routines. I have tools that I use. A lot of those usually stay the same. There's always new ones being thrown in there, sure. So I have these things, these regular, consistent things in my life, but I also have to be flexible enough to know that, you know what I mean? Like, I might dig through that whole toolbox today just to look for something that I can do to get through a difficult situation that, maybe I haven't picked up that tool in a few weeks or a couple of months, but always learning to adapt and being able to move forward. She says, as we move through our experiences, we are changed. And then we look with a new perspective on old conditions. And I think about that now, like, a lot of people keep saying, well, when life turns back to normal, when this goes back to normal, when I go back to this and when I go back to that, like, I personally have a hard time with that, but, that's okay. That's just my opinion. But, moving forward, like, this is something new that none of us have ever experienced. Like, this is in the making of history right now. This is brand new, and it's very difficult, and it's craziness, right? It's absolute craziness. This is a new experience for us, I don't know that we're ever going to get back to normal. It's going to be a new normal, and and I kind of hope that we don't go back to the way, how a lot of us do things in our past, because sometimes it doesn't always work. I believe that this is happening for a reason, to kind of restructure us, right? It's kind of forcing us to just slow down, and as one of my friends said this morning, I talked to her on the phone, kind of downshift in gears, right? To slow us down and to really reassess how we do things. This is very difficult for all of us, and we all have a lot of our ups and downs, and that's okay. How I get through those today is going to be different from tomorrow, but, like, I have that confidence that we will still get through this. This is a new experience, and we are going to be changed from this. Everything we do here on out is really this is changing our entire lives for the rest of, our generation who's alive right now, going through this, witnessing all this. This is changing our entire lives moving forward. So we're going to move through this experience, and we're going to change because of that. Whether we want to or not, there's an internal change happening to all of us. And we're going to look at life with a new perspective. Eventually life will return to some normalcy, but it will never be the normal that we've known our entire lives up until the point of the pandemic, So we're going to have that new, fresh perspective. And she says that our new perspective hones our value systems. And yesterday's rules and boundaries no longer fit today's situations, and she's just kind of poking fun in that first quote about, rules are meant to be broken and boundaries are to be expanded and crossed. And that's more so in the sense of, yes, rules and boundaries are absolutely important in life, but she means it more in the sense of, yesterday's rules and boundaries, they don't fit today's situations, and that's all, it all just goes back to that, adapting and getting through each moment of each day right now. And it's going to be different every single day or every couple of days. I love that. Our growth, all of us, it's an unending process. We never, none of us ever get to a point in life where our growing stops, right? It's we never get to a point in life where we can just sit back and say, "There, I've got it. I figured it out. I'm done growing. I've got it all figured out. This is the way life is gonna stay, and it's gonna be great from here on out." It's not realistic. I love that. It's an unending process. So what we confront today with assurance, we prepared for yesterday. I have my moments in each day where I can confront different situations. I can confront the day. I can confront that with assurance and positivity. But that's from the work that I put in yesterday, and the work that I put in today to get through each situation, even just to get through my day today. You know what I mean? Me taking that action and doing what I can to take care of myself so that I can turn around and be there for others, that's preparing me for tomorrow, right? We're always preparing for that next day of how we get through that stuff. And that's why it's just so important to get up and to do the right thing anyways, even though the days we don't feel like it. I don't necessarily feel like it today, but that's all right. I still get up and do the actions anyways. It's just so important. It's what is always preparing me for the next day's challenges. I don't ever want to stop growing. I don't ever want to stop, learning new tools to keep in my own toolbox, So, it was just kind of something that was just really thought-provoking when I had read that a couple days ago. And, for those of you that are in recovery, I love that first line. She says, "Recovery has given us the freedom to address life honestly, with forethought and a certainty about the rightness of our actions." And that's definitely been my experience. For those of you who are in recovery, we all kind of come into this thing in different ways and at different times. And, that's how it's supposed to be. We're never supposed to do this thing at the same time. We talked about that yesterday. But coming into recovery and the way I live today is very different than it used to be. I'm realizing that I can, look at my life as honestly as I can and do my very best. And there's days where I'm not going to hit my very best mark, and that's okay. I'm just working on just trying to be more gentle with myself right now. And that's challenging. I think a lot of you can relate to that. I have a lot of phone conversations with people who are very much in the same boat, having struggles, being kind to ourselves and taking care of ourselves. But you know what I mean? It's just so different during this time. I can't say any more about it, enough that we haven't already talked about quite frequently. But we're learning and we're hanging in there, and just that constant reminder that we're here for you guys, and nobody has to do this alone. Nobody should have to. So again, I will always continue guys to encourage to please reach out. If you have questions, if you want to talk, if you want to connect, if you are interested in peer services, or again, if maybe someone else that is, we're here. Please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm going to do a quick check-in with you guys. Danny says, "Ugh, I am finding that every moment, especially with my two young men, 14 and 17, it's a dance with their feelings as well." Yeah, I can't even imagine, what it's like for some of you guys who are living with family, who are living at home with your kids. Everybody is affected by this right now. We all, your kids and stuff. Yeah, you're right. It's a dance. They have their feelings as well too right now, and I can only imagine how difficult it is. I'm curious how you guys. If there's some of you out there that are, quarantined with family members or friends or loved ones, whoever, people you've been staying with or living with, I'm curious what that's like. How is that? What is that like dealing with everyone's emotions and feelings in the house? Do you guys find that, some days, like some people are kind of down here emotionally and other people are up and you're able to help balance each other out? Or do you find that like your entire household is kind of on this same emotional schedule? I'm curious, I'm curious what that's like. I live alone, so I don't have that right now, but I'd be interested to know how some of you guys are surviving with some of the people you live with. What is that like dealing with everyone else's feelings? We're also busy trying to take care of our own feelings, and then there's other people too we have to consider. That's got to be very difficult. Karen says, "That's great. So true. I've been adapting to working from home, doing live videos, Zoom meetings, and I don't do well with technology, but I'm adapting and learning, kind of." Same, right on, Karen. Yeah, right? We're all learning how to do this thing, whether you're a technology guru or not. I'm learning how to do this thing, I had the realization that I am no longer the younger generation, and I'm amazed at some of these, the younger generations that are, their brain is just like automatically wired to be able to figure out how to do all this stuff. So I'm with you. I'm learning too. I'm adapting, and I talked to my mom this morning, and she's like, "Yeah, I hosted like 2 other Zoom meetings the other day with a book study and work." And I'm like, "You hosted that? That's awesome! Like, good for you, mom." So yeah, it is just kind of interesting to very much see how people are adapting. We were able to get my grandma on Zoom a couple weeks ago and do like a family Zoom call, so that was nice. So even older generations are adapting. You know what I mean? It's just very, and it's challenging at times. Like, I don't know about you guys, but there are days where I'm very frustrated with all the Zoom meetings and my laptop and the phones. And some days I was kind of joking yesterday. I just want to throw it all in the bay. It's a lot. But then I kind of have to pause and consider what some other people are going through. There are a lot of people who don't even have cell phones right now, or computers, or even access to internet. Some people don't have access to Zoom or some of the support group 12-step meetings, or even just to be on here doing something fun like a Facebook Live. Not everybody has access to that. And it's a good reminder for us all, for the lucky ones, the folks of us who do have these things, and you guys are on here right now, like, we have that choice to be grateful for this access that we have, because this is our connection right now, right? And even this is adapting. This is awkward and it's weird at times. And again, I pointed out the obvious the other day that usually I'm sitting here kind of talking to myself, talking to the computer screen. But that's why I love when you guys comment too, because it is my little way of interacting with people. So yeah, good point, Karen. Lisa says, bizarre sentence. I fly through every color of the emotional wheel each day, and although it's frustrating, I am also seeing that it's a rainbow, bright blur of fast-paced growth. I love that. Yeah, just thinking. Yeah, again, back to that. Is it? It's all the different emotions, right? It's all this whole different colored wheel. So it is just interesting reading through these. You guys can Google that, or someone can post it in the comments right now. But it's interesting to look at that and see like all the different labels of emotions, and I didn't even know there that many, but I love that. I'm also seeing that it's a rainbow bright blur of fast-paced growth. Yeah, right? Even through all our emotions, we're adapting, right? I'm adapting from one emotion to the next emotion, and that's okay. We have to be able to move through that stuff. It's not sustainable for us to stay on like one section of that mood wheel. That's not how humans work. That's not how our brains work. Like, feelings and emotions, there's a constant change. How I felt 20 minutes ago is different than how I feel now. It's different than how I'm going to feel an hour from now. Like, that's the way that functions. Karen says, haha, my retired husband is a little out of whack because now I'm home all day, invading his space, but he's dealing well with it and respecting that I have to work from home. Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny seeing all I laugh at, so I, shamefully admit that I joined the TikTok world, so I'm laughing at some of these videos people are posting when they're home with their significant other and they're off doing some ridiculous thing and making noise and banging on pots and pans and doing funny dances while their significant other is sitting at the computer diligently trying to work. So it's pretty funny. So I can only imagine how that's going, Karen. But I'm sure he enjoys having you home. It probably is pretty difficult to deal with other people's feelings and emotions in your household. I'm sure that has to be challenging, but I'm also hoping that you guys are able to find some silver linings in that too. Find some of those moments of grace and find some of those moments of true connection, right? Oftentimes when we live with other people, whether it's family or roommates or whoever, sometimes you're kind of like two ships passing. People are going to work and, maybe you see each other for a little bit at night, or maybe you hang out and watch movies here and there in normal life. Oftentimes you don't always get those moments of being around each other all the time. And the more moments you're around each other all the time, that's more opportunity to, have deeper conversations and have that time to connect, where you might not normally get that in real life. In real life, you might have to schedule that time with each other to, like, hey, do you want to go out for coffee, or do you want to go out for dinner? I'd love to just chit-chat and catch up. Sometimes we schedule that stuff. And now this is like, life is like, here. Now you have these people 24/7. Find some time and sit down and connect with them. So I'm hoping that you guys are able to find those moments too. Lisa says, replying to comments, like bizarre if my current self time traveled and sent it to my past self. And Karen's laughing. You guys are funny. Hi, Mo! It's so nice to see you guys on here, really. It just kind of makes my day, and just reading through some of your comments and, learning how some of you guys are doing these things too. Again, I'm never on here as an expert by any means. All these readings, they're from authors, they're from other people. A lot of the things I share about, I've learned and gained knowledge from other people too. So, I'm not up here as an expert, but more so just, sharing my experience, strength, and hope, and just checking in with you guys. I very much enjoy this time with you, and there's times where I'm kind of like fumbling around trying to figure out what to read with you guys, but you know what? It always just turns out okay, anyways. Karen says that's very true. We do have great convos. That's good, and that makes me grateful for for the family that I have, like so I don't get to be home quarantined with them. I'm curious what that would actually look like, but it just makes me appreciate those relationships because I don't have those people here, and I haven't really seen those people in quite a while. Besides Zoom and phone calls and stuff, but. Anyways, I just thank you guys for really joining in with me today and hanging out for a little bit, spending some time, having some good conversation, some positivity in your lives. So again, I'm here if Mo says she's late, just got in from a run. Yeah, Mo, out there running. I love it. I love to see that people are getting up and still taking walks and going for runs and getting your dogs out there. That is awesome. That's great. It's so important to just get up and stay active. I went on a little walk earlier today, and kind of a cloudy day, but it feels a little bit warmer out today. Anyways, I'm still babbling on. But yeah, if any of you want to connect, again, even if it's just a talk, if you're just struggling a little bit and maybe you don't necessarily want peer services, that's okay too. But please message us. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you would like to see more of. I hope that you guys can check out our virtual schedule to stay up to date with all the other awesome rock recovery crew who are putting out these great videos. So please check out everyone else's content too. We got I think we have a at-home workout later for you guys this afternoon. Some words of encouragement from Yana later. Brian did meditation this morning. Karen did yoga last night. Yeah. And we got some different stuff going on the weekends too. So please make sure you guys check out that virtual schedule. It's right on our Facebook page. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. And you can also view it on our website, rockcoveryfitness.org. So check those out. We got some cool weekend stuff going on that we don't normally have throughout the weeks. Some other good videos to tune into. And, clear your calendar. What else you got to do? Awesome. All right. Well, I will see you guys later. I will see you guys on Monday, actually. So I hope you all have an awesome weekend. And take care. Bye.